She was born beautiful. Her eyes oval and her cheeks full. Her daddy a pastor, her mom owned a bookstore. Locked away like RCT and Adam Levine, at the age of 2 she knew all about Jesus being divine. Dropped off daily at school by the driver, protection was 100% and nothing could harm her. She knew all about God but never watched the news, and so didn't really see blood until she turned 13, and then there was the bleeding. Too afraid to tell mom, she saw it all addresses but stayed dumb. When mama eventually found out, all she did was shout, but no one told her what it all meant. And into her room, a box of pads was all that was sent. Beautiful black girl wasn't a girl no more, but still her mind stayed raw, ignorant of the meaning of all the changes. But she couldn't ignore the pop on her chest that felt like 2 oranges. For a while, it stayed that way, until mama came to her room to say, "This is your cousin John and he has come to stay." John was 18 and damn, he was mean. Mama was always at the bookstore. Daddy was busy being a pastor. They made sure she read her Bible but didn't really care about all that she went through. How John turned her into a slave whenever they went out. How he'd flog her with his belt and in her face abuses he would shout. Constantly starving her while he had takeouts. She was always terrified. Whenever he screamed her name, she instantly became petrified. At least it's just a few chores, she constantly told herself. Until that sunny afternoon he came strolling down like an elf. She had just come back from school and the weather wasn't so cool, so she took a bath, oblivious of the fact that it was just her and a monster in the big flat. He opened the door slowly and crept in. She laid still, of course she was sleeping. Slowly her eyes went open. Her legs had already been pried open. The mass of his large body weighed her down. She couldn't move a limb and he placed a hand on her mouth so she wouldn't shout. He whispered in her ears, "Tell anyone about this and I swear I would kill you." She believed him. Who wouldn't? Not even you. He ripped off her dress like paper. Every sound seemed to come from someplace far. He pushed her on the way outside and before she knew it, she felt him inside. She struggled hard until she no longer had strength. She was clueless what this all meant, but she couldn't ignore the pain that she felt. Those 5 minutes felt like 5 hours. Before his body started trembling against hers, he got up without saying a word, and that was it. The end of her world. She sat there for hours, staring at the red patch on the bed. She felt the warm liquid trickle down her thighs, but was too weak to move. She finally heard Mama scream her name as usual. She went to the closet and cleaned herself up, walked to the living room, and there stood John, staring at her with stone-cold eyes. "John says you've done no chores today," Mama said. She stared dumbfounded at this blind woman that knew nothing. She slowly turned and walked to the kitchen, made supper and didn't eat a spoon before leaving the dining. Stayed up all night, too weak to cry, wishing she would just die, too broken to sleep. He came again the next day and the day after and kept coming for 2 months. She always felt weak and sleepy, but Mama kept telling Papa she was getting lazy. She was starting to feel a bulge in her tummy, then the vomiting started. She tried to hide it for a few weeks until Mom saw her in the backyard, throwing up so bad. 2 looks at her and Mama screamed, "You're pregnant!" They didn't need to hear any explanation she had to say. Besides, she didn't have nothing to say. They screamed and wailed and flogged. John stood behind the scene, telling them of a boy with her he had always seen. Mama's outrage could clearly be seen. The neighbors came rushing in, trying to calm Mama down, for she was ranting and crying. But no one saw when Lisa got up, and without them even noticing, she went to take a knife from the kitchen, went to her room and wrote the last 2 months on a piece of paper. Without letting a tear fall, Lisa slit her wrist. The beautiful pent-up pain flowed out as one streak of salty lava burned down her right cheek as she exhaled her soul into the empty prison that had been her room and gained that eternal freedom. I wonder if God would send her to hell, because even before her body went cold, they all came rushing into the room screaming and threatening to kill her. Was all Mom yelled, but they met her lifeless chunk of flesh. John stared with confusion but mild satisfaction until a neighbor picked up a blood-stained paper clenched in Lisa's fist. With difficulty but certainty, he read the contents of the only poem Lisa ever wrote. Papa in outrage pounded on John, and Mama for the first time fell silent and passed out from the pain. A little too late to show concern, for Lisa's last words read, "At least I won't get hurt no more by something I do not even understand."